there are some lines that we've been like misquoting, and I think that speaks to how bad the writing is. That in our minds we made up a better script.
That's
hilarious.
Yeah, there's another one that he says is, "You looking in her eyes, it starts a fire in your crotch."
Yeah, this movie really just excels in its like quotable bad lines.
Let's go.
What a lovely day!
Andy, there's a whole world out there. Jump in.
Can you dig it?
Yeah.
You must always pay strict attention.
I was just completely enamored by it the entire time.
Dude, he did not have to go that hard.
I know, man. Isn't it wild?
TheJaredcast.
So it begins.
Hello,
Reset.
and welcome back to the Jaredcast. We got a fun episode with fun people. With me, as per usual, Jared. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I went out and hung out with people and had a game night this weekend. It was weird and surreal.
Look at Mr. Friends over here.
I know, yeah. It's interesting. I didn't know how much I missed like yelling at other human beings in code names until I did it again. So yeah, it's great.
Good, happy to hear it. And joining us for the second time, co-host of our most popular episode, so I'm sure you guys know her, Sabrina. How you doing?
Hey, I win the podcast game. It's been good. I'm like jumping into the freelance world of filmmaking, so it's like a terrifying dive. Speaking of dive,
welcome. It's great.
I'm in the water in the Zoom. If you didn't watch the YouTube version, but yeah.
If you can't tell, she's a ghost at a brook.
See,
and it's a very relevant background because it's from one of the films we're talking about. Because today we're talking about just the shittiest, the absolute garbage cinema.
So good.
3 hilariously bad movies. Love on a Leash, as you might see behind her. Succubus Hellbent and Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. I'm very excited. I love ones where we just shit on movies. I think we need to become a B movie podcast. But it would hurt too much to watch all that. But I'm excited. These people are too, so I'll stop blabbering and let Jared introduce our top 3.
So today we're doing our top 3 movie characters that we would want to dress up for as Halloween. I kind of cheated a little bit. I picked one from TV, but I think that's okay. I know we all took a different approach to our Halloween lists, but it's all good. It's all good. I guess I'll start us off. My number 3 is, of course, the Doof Warrior from Mad Max Fury Road. I went with kind of the way I approach my list is like, what Halloween characters could I never afford to do, but like I really, really want to do it, and I would definitely love to be like on top of a moving stage with a flamethrower guitar. That would be my dream come true for every Halloween. And I've also mentioned the Doof Wagon before in a couple episodes ago. So the Doof Warrior, number 3.
Groovy.
Yeah.
nice.
Popcorn Sabrina.
It's in your power. Honestly, my whole list I'm realizing is like people with short hair that I feel like I could pull off having short hair right now. It's been my strategy in the past.
Makes sense.
My third pick is Peter from Hereditary. I just feel like Alex Wolff, iconic Naked Brothers band musician. I'd be super down.
Okay.
I always forget about that.
Yeah, it's the same person. A concept. I don't even.
That's
I
crazy.
guess he did a few other movies, but like he didn't do enough for me to go. He's not the guy from Naked Brothers Band anymore. But
Fair.
yeah, that's my pick for sure.
Nice. For my number 3, I've got who doesn't like getting just trashed on Halloween? You know, it's all about getting drunk and eating shit food and watching scary movies. And so I picked one of my favorite drunk characters, a bit of a cliche pick, with Captain Jack Sparrow. However, I'll have the full pirate outfit and a giant bird head of a sparrow. And I'll mix that shit up.
Makes sense.
Yep.
That's great.
Maybe wings if I can afford it, but we'll see.
Nice. For my number 2, I went with the Mandalorian from The Mandalorian, especially when he gets his full, what's it called? Beskar steel outfit. It's so sick. It's so shiny. And I love the gun that he carries on his shoulder. If I could have like a floating child with me, that'd be awesome too. I'm really breaking the bank with these costumes.
Yeah.
Floating child's like $150. Like,
We'll see. Maybe it'll be like a really complicated puppet that like hangs on the back of my. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's my number 2.
I see it. Some wire, some foam. You could probably do
Hell yeah.
floating child.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, my number 2, again, with the short hair cop out. And actually, I did this, but I feel like someone could give me more money so I could do it even better. So that's why it's my number 2 of haven't done it yet.
We'll start a GoFundMe.
Yes, start a GoFundMe for me to dress up as Ferris Bueller.
Ooh.
Nice.
I love that fit. That was great, but like I got it from Amazon and it smelled like fish. And I would definitely want a higher budget.
Oh my god.
It was, yes. It was in the comments. It was in the review. So I was like, I'm ready to leave this out for days and then wear it to work. Which is like, that's the thing you're not supposed to do at work. It's like microwave salmon or shit like that.
Yeah.
But I just brought a whole outfit that smelled like fish. So
You're a rebellious type. What can we say?
Yeah, definitely.
My number 2, picture this if you will. A nice round fitting orange and yellow striped button up, some orange suspenders, green pants, the roundest glasses you've ever seen, nice red hair to top it off. I'm talking none other than Carl Weezer, but I'll throw in an electric guitar and a blue background, and I'll be
Oh my god.
Carl Weezer.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Great.
My like number 1 dream costume that like it'll be an absolute miracle if I could ever pull this off is to do Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, but like the adult version and use real wood. So
Yes.
so I would be like literally a walking tree on stilts and shit. And like I'll have like a voice changer.
Ooh.
I'd have like flowers sprouting out of my back. It'd be
Zero
freaking
mobility, but
zero
amazing.
mobility. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Hell yeah. That'd be my
Would you
number
stay
1.
in character and only say I am Groot the whole time?
Absolutely.
Good.
100%.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's my number 1. And I also did try doing this, but I couldn't even pull it off like half-assed because it was so hard. And it's because I feel like it'd be just too expensive. I would just need a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I really fucking tried. I tried to dress up as sexy Stanley Kubrick. Full beard because it has
That's
to be
amazing.
uncomfortable and confusing. That's a part of the costume.
Yeah.
It did not work out. I bought a wig. I had the whole fit. I was wearing like a Hal necklace. It was going to be great, but it just like it didn't look enough like Stanley Kubrick. It was like, oh, you're just some dude.
It's just sexy homeless man.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, do you have pictures that I could cut to?
I'm so sorry. I do not. I do. Okay, wait. I do have reference photos I was looking at to compare this to.
Okay.
So I could probably find that if you'd like a reference of what I was trying to do. But yeah.
That's hilarious.
Almost with some
What
money,
did you do
man.
did you do something with the what made it sexy or not sexy?
It was just like white crop top, plaid. I don't know, like from
Plaid?
like neck down. It was not Stanley Kubrick. It was just a cute fit, and then top up,
Okay.
beard, black hair, a whole wig. I still have the wig. I'd never even like used it for anything else. I just couldn't make this work.
That's
But
amazing.
one day,
Man.
one fucking day.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
My number one came to me when I was in the shower right after Jared gave us this topic. I was brainstorming, and it just came to me, and I love it. So I was thinking, I hate parties, so this really has to go with if I'm invited to one ever. But what I will do is I will not show up at all, and I will have somebody text me every detail, like specific conversations, everything, and then for the next year, I'll pretend I was at that party, and I'll be the invisible man.
I
The
lost you for a
delay
second.
totally ruined your timing. That was
Yeah,
so good.
I don't know. You guys have been frozen this entire time for
No.
me.
I appreciate your bravery and just continuing because
Thanks.
That
I
was
was like,
good
I'm just gonna
anyways.
go with it and see what happens.
So, what was it? I didn't get it.
oh my
Jesus,
gosh.
I need to.
I
After
still
this, I
can't
need
hear
to
you.
back up
Again,
on
this
Zoom
is
and
so
restart
sad.
this. Yeah, no. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be back. I'll see you guys soon.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I guess.
Oh my gosh.
This is such a great show. We're so talented and prepared. Ugh,
Yeah. No, we're the good filmmakers.
I guess.
Because it's like we're
Dude.
just shitting on like shitty directors and then we're encountering technical difficulties.
Dude.
Shout out to us.
Yeah, it was so hard to pick a movie for this because, like, honestly, like, there were so many that I just didn't feel like watching because I was like, I don't want to put myself through this. Say we're doing overrated movies with Alquan in a couple weeks,
Nice.
and like,
Hello.
and there are
Hi.
there are so many like overrated movies that I don't want to watch. So like, I'm having trouble like picking for that.
I'm
I see
waiting
it.
to see which one of us picks Avatar.
I've almost picked it
Honestly?
so many times, but I don't want to watch it. So like, I don't wanna pick it. Yeah.
Oh, am I better? Am I good now?
You're good. Oh man.
My bad. Oops. Should I
I'm
say
so
it
sorry.
again or should I?
Yeah, because I
continue?
still
Do it.
really have no idea.
Okay. So, if I get invited to a party by some miracle, I make a friend. I got to start with the beginning.
I'll laugh anyways.
What I will do is not show up to the party at all. Have somebody on the inside text me every single detail. I'm talking conversations. I'm talking like if somebody trips and falls, I want to know about it. I want to know who's drunk, who's not. So for the next year, I could pretend I was at the party, gaslight people into thinking I was, and be the invisible man.
Hell yeah.
Hey!
Hell yeah. Okay. That was totally
That was
worth the
worth
wait
it,
for
yeah.
me. Yeah.
It was so worth it.
That was great.
Yeah.
I love this show.
Yep. Shall we clown on some movies?
We should. Dude, he sprung that on me at the last possible moment. Like I couldn't react because someone else was talking. So like I was just like,
Jared's just in the background like this.
yeah.
Ugh.
Alrighty.
All right.
You want to kick us off, Sabrina, for Love on a Leash?
Hell yes. Yes.
Well,
I
too
do.
bad, because somebody else is kicking us off, and that's Green24 on today's segment.
Cool. Bad reviews.
Of poorly
Oh my
written
gosh.
reviews of movies that we're watching because it's funny and it makes me laugh and stuff. I mixed it up a bit on this one. I got 2 positive reviews, but they're still hilarious to me.
Hell yeah.
And so this one is titled "Love on a Leash equals Citizen Kane for Canines." They gave it a 10 out of 10, and they said thus: I loved every second of this beautiful film. The cinematography and directing were unbelievable. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought Roger Deakins was collaborating with Stanley Kubrick.
Oh
The
my God.
dialogue makes Pulp Fiction and Network seem subpar. This rivals Cool Cat with being the best of the decade so far. I don't know yet because there's still 7 years left in the 2030s, but I'm surprised if anything topped this underappreciated diamond in the rough. The only part I didn't like was when Tom Cruise went to that masked rich people underground orgy toward the end of the second act. But it's
What?
such a negligible misstep that I'm allowing to forget it for the overall sensational experience.
Was that a review for Eyes Wide Shut? Like that they just copied and pasted into
I think so. I love it
What?
though. I think it's
you could
fantastic.
do that? That's great. I'm totally gonna-
Once I caught on at the end, I was like, all right, yeah, this one's making it.
I'm gonna do this for every movie.
Just a different Eyes Wide Shut review.
No. Well, I want to not just Eyes Wide Shut. Like
I think
I'll,
that'd
like-
be even better.
that would be better. That would be better. But if I did like a 2001 review, but it was just my SpongeBob the movie review.
Oh, it's great. Anyway, what's Love on a Leash, Sabrina?
That's something in my eye very well timed. But spotlights on this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Here's our
Love on a
boyfriend.
Leash. Classic. 2011 movie of the year. Here's the synopsis. Love takes a furry twist in this slice of romance comedy.
Yes.
A young woman falls for a stray dog with a secret. By night, it becomes a man. Follow the journey of the golden retriever and the friend who gives him a home.
Aw.
Yep. I fucking love this movie. I was introduced to Love on a Leash by Ralph the Movie Maker, who I fucking love, and I just got to watch like the best bits of it in one of his reviews, and then when I finally watched the whole thing, I was like, oh, it's so much worse than I thought. Because getting to watch the whole thing all together, it's like, it's not even that long. It feels very long.
It feels like a fucking fever dream.
It fucking does. It goes on forever, and it's like, it's just terrible acting. As a production designer, I love the production design of this movie.
Green.
Why is it color coded? It's like, this person is the green person, and they're self-aware.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how this worked out, but I have a feeling that there was a script, and then someone else wrote all of Prince's lines, the dog, because they're so self-aware and they're like actually funny. So I feel like there's like a ghostwriter, someone got paid to do that because it's so different. It's so starkly different.
So
yeah.
I found an interview from the actual voice of the dog.
Oh.
And we'll get to that later because I figured he said so, he spilled some tea.
Oh shit.
Which also, why is it a different voice? You
Yes.
have a human.
It's so obvious.
Continue with your thoughts, Sabrina. We'll get into this. We all just want to like rip it apart already.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, female director. I had to do that to you. I guess in a world where women make movies more often, there's also really shitty movies by female directors. That's the world I want to fucking see.
That's equality, baby.
Hell yeah. It's not like women's issues or whatever, which is great, but we also need shitty movies about really stupid topics. I'm pretty sure the director does the voiceover of the Babbling Brook, from what I remember.
Nice.
Yes, iconic cameo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm down to just like talk between the three of us because it's one of those movies where I have been waiting for your guys' reaction. We were in our thesis film class and I was like, you guys haven't seen Love on a Leash? And
It's
I
been
think
a
one of
long
you
time
was like,
coming.
is it like a kinky thing? And I'm like, no.
I thought it was furry porn.
It wishes, but no.
Yeah.
No.
And in a way, maybe it is.
Would you rate him?
Yeah.
My rating. Do we have to go negative? Is it like
You can go positive
to?
if you think it's a genuinely good film.
No, okay. I'll go negative, but the
like
closer to -10 is a better bad movie in my eyes.
Yeah. So like
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Room would be like -10 if it's so bad it's good. Like
There you go. Yeah, I would say this is my -10. I think it's worse than The Room. I think this movie's worse than The Room, and I like it more because of that. It's like it's just so bad, and it keeps surprising you how like bad it is. And I love that. I love this movie. -10. -10.
cool.
I do agree. I think it is worse than The Room in terms of production quality. However, because of that, painful to sit through the whole thing. My enjoyment fluctuated so hard from being like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen to I want to die. And so like, because of that, I can't give it quite as high because I wasn't enjoying myself the whole time. And so I gave it a -7.5 because it was so painful at times. But when it was high, boy, was it high.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, with this pick, Sabrina, you ruined my Saturday. It was I'll never forget it. And I remember starting the movie and like I thought my headphones were broken for like 15 minutes because there's no sound.
Yes,
It's
I
not
love it.
During which they credit a composer.
Yes.
Yeah. I figured out why. I figured out why from that interview with the voice actor. I'll get to it later.
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready.
Dude,
I love
it's
this
so
movie
bad.
so much. I love this movie so much.
The first note I wrote was room tone. So far, not a great start. And that's kind of how it went for me. I love the kind of the constant like WTF nature of the movie. That like the way it keeps playing out, where it's like, what? This happens. I think it might be because it's an Asian writer, and like there's a lot of twists in Asian fiction, but they just don't work here at all. Cinematography, literally no lights. There's no like, there's no lights in the entire thing.
The Revenant didn't need it. Why would they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not even 24 frames per second. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shots that are out of focus. There are time lapses for no reason. I will say one big positive, one like legit positive for the movie, is the animal acting. Is like
Yeah.
legitimately like the dog is
pretty
like
good.
well trained and like actually hitting those beats, hitting those cues, and like getting those like they're good at getting those expressions.
I will
Unfor-
say, I read that they had to use several dogs because it was so hot that they had to like keep
Oh,
changing them.
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll bet, man. Sheesh. Yeah, I love the weird like horror, uh, like horror camera angles, like Dutch angles, and there's like weird backlighting sometimes. I love the farting. I'm always a sucker for farting. There are there's some great jokes in this movie, like legit great jokes in this movie. But because because the composer's music doesn't show up in this version that we watched. Um, like it like the constant silence through the montages like is thoroughly unpleasant. It's this is one of the worst. This is probably the worst movie I've ever seen.
Hey.
I get
Woo.
it will probably get like a -5 for realsies, but I gave it a -6.9 just because that's a funnier score, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, there are some like especially like the dinner scene where they're trying to be awkward, but
Oh
the
my
movie's
God.
already super awkward.
Yeah,
Like
you don't need.
it's truly awful. I can't thank you enough for bringing this movie into my life.
They
And
all take bites at the same time. Oh my
and,
God.
like you mentioned the IMDb score, that's because there are 62,000
You printed it out.
6,295 voters
Oh my God.
put work into giving this movie a high rating. So
Yeah,
power
it's
to
like a
the internet.
9.3.
Yeah. Power to the internet, power to the people. Yeah, let's do it.
This
Yeah.
movie used to be on Amazon Prime too, which is hilarious. So they
Oh.
had like little trivia and a bunch of shit like that. But no, it's like a definitely quotable movie. My name is Alvin Flang is all I've been saying this morning.
Which, why don't they ever call him Alvin when he's a human? Why do they continue with the dog name?
It's only referenced once. It's like he doesn't have an ID, he doesn't have a birth certificate. This guy's like unexistent, but my name is Alvin Flang.
Yeah. Should I get into the anecdotes from the voice actor?
Honestly,
yeah.
go for it.
Okay. So, do you guys know who Stephen Kramer Glickman is?
Sounds familiar, but I don't
He's a stand-up comedian and a podcast host. Like he's like
Okay.
pretty well known for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But he played the record producer in Big Time Rush.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he did like he went
Oh,
on
shit.
after this movie to become like a successful actor and stand-up comedian podcaster. But like so he was the doorman and the phone guy at the Comedy Store, and Ari Shafir gave him gave him the gig because he didn't want to do it. And so he recorded in his office at the Comedy Store. The director showed up with 3 cantaloupes and a bag of wontons and said, "I don't have any money. Can I just give you this?" And he said, "Sure." And then like a year later, he had to re-record the entire movie because they lost the recording.
Oh god.
And he had to do it for free because he was like the understudy or something for Shrek the musical. So he had to like literally as he was moving to New York City, he was driving to Redondo Beach from LA, trying to get this recorded. And he thought it was an animated film at first. He didn't know that it was live action. And he got the script and it was like totally changed. The director like didn't speak English very well, but she would direct him. It would be like it would be like very broken translations from a Chinese script. And she also explained a few things. In China, green means horny, so that's why her entire production design is green. um, Also, the fake acne is like it means that like I guess
Yeah.
there's an old wives' tale. Like if you're not having enough sex, you get acne.
What is this? I can't.
It's an old
revelation.
wives. Yeah. By the way, I love that we all chose super sexual movies.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, Yeah, the entire script was literally translated with Google. And
Wow.
he so the reason we didn't know the voice actor until Ralph the Movie Maker found out was because he had his name removed from the movie because it was that bad. A lot of the reasons, like you pointed to the self-awareness, you pointed to the fact that like Alvin Flang is like different. It's because a lot of it was just him making fun of the movie as he was recording it, because he was seeing it for the first time as he was re-recording his lines. So there is a DVD version that exists with a score of the film.
Oh.
But because the director paid people in cantaloupes and shit, because there are no contracts for the movie, so she lost the contract with the composer. And when it went to Amazon Prime, and then from there on YouTube, they lost the contract for the music, so they couldn't license the music. So there's a whole entire like audience. I shit you not. There's a 20-minute freaking. There's at least like in this 90-minute movie, there's at least 40 minutes that have no music.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And not even that, no sound
No
whatsoever.
sound.
Nothing
Yeah.
to replace him.
Not
You
even.
can hear the like voiceovers cut in and out too.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
It's so harsh.
Yeah. He was
Oh my
making fun of the
gosh.
movie while recording it. Fun fact, the actors who played Lisa and Prince got married and had kids and quit the showbiz afterwards.
What?
Aww.
Yeah.
We love a happy ending.
That's great.
The editor of the movie literally refuses to have his name thrown in to the
Good
thing.
call.
Like,
It's very poorly edited.
yeah.
Oh my
And like I mentioned funding trouble before, so apparently she conned a Chinese Christian church into thinking that this was a Christian movie. And so that's why the funding was gone, like by the re-recording stage, by the post-production stage. So, yeah.
Wow.
It's fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
good.
movie. There are scenes that I have watched.
Oh man.
Oh.
What like I guess yeah, we can like dissect it. Like what stands out to you guys the most, I guess.
Oh my god, everything. Like I just have a lot of questions. Like why doesn't the prince own a shirt? Why like the entire movie? Why is there a fortune teller looking ass with the fakest accent?
Yes.
Dude.
She was one of my favorite characters.
So random. I think when she was like, "You can't see your mom." Well, if you don't want to dump him,
The LA smog.
yeah, she just was like, "Okay, but well, you're not gonna see your mom ever again." Towards the end, and it was so random. Like, I don't understand the dynamics between this woman and her mother. Like,
Yeah. Like she's like, "Oh, you know your mom can't be or if what's the line exactly? Like, if it wasn't for the LA smog, your mom would be here." And so I was like, "Oh, the mom
oh,
is like dead or something."
I
And then they
missed
cut to a
that.
shot of the mom, and I was like, "What?"
Dude, oh my
She
god.
has asthma. There's like this one scene where they're all at the dining table and like
Yeah.
fucking Alvin Flang says something. I think they were like, "Oh, I'm a chef. I'm an investor." And then she just like takes a puff. And it's
Okay.
so like a close up of her taking a puff of her inhaler. And it was like, wow, what
I
are
didn't
they?
connect the dots there.
I kept
Didn't
thinking of
even
like
notice.
Chekhov's like inhaler instead of Chekhov's gun. Just like, are they
Yeah.
gonna use this later? Is this gonna come into play?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
for Rita, like it feels racist, but I'm not sure who it's racist for. Like I don't know what accent she's even trying to do. Who should I be? On whose behalf should I be offended? Like I don't know.
It felt like if the director had like a theater kid friend who like never made it in any productions, and she's like, "Fuck, I need one more. I guess you can come on." She's like, "Can I do an accent?"
Well, it's the
Oh
kind of
my
accent you can get by like paying in cantaloupes. I think it's
Yeah.
like proportionate.
Yeah,
The
dude.
vaguely European.
Oh
Oh my
man.
god.
Oh my
That's
god.
so iconic. The guys are so creepy in this movie.
Yeah.
Everyone's so disgusting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
they just
so
like
many...
go to stare at her store. Like, ooh,
Everybody's
oh my
so horny for Lisa the
Yes.
entire time. Like, there's just mobs of men throwing themselves at her.
so bad.
What's with the plot of Kyle and like him being gay and wanting her to be the beard? When she's like so distraught over it, they went on one date.
I know. And then also, like, they don't say the word gay, which I kept thinking, are they going to say it? Are they going to do it? And they don't.
Yeah,
Like, they pussy out
no.
so hard. Oh my god.
Oh
And
man.
just marriage in general, I don't think. How do these people think marriage works? Like,
Yeah. So I wrote down a note. Like, there are so many twists, especially in the first 20 minutes. Like the
yeah.
weird mother-in-law contract happens right
Yeah.
before Kyle's proposal, which happens right before her manager trying to assault her and the dog trying to rescue her and her falling in love with the dog. And then she has a meltdown and overdoses and then is just
Yes.
fine in the same night. And this is the first like 30 minutes of the movie. Like I
Oh
was
my
like, where the hell do I go from here?
Yeah. Like, I thought the whole movie was gonna be, because I didn't like read the description. I vaguely remembered what you told us in thesis class,
Nice.
because I was so distraught by it. And so I was like, okay, the whole thing is gonna be him as a dog trying to get her to fall in love, and then he becomes human. I'm like, okay, movie over. We resolved the plot. And then it's like, nope, nighttime, bitch. I was like, what?
Yes, but like also the fact that he had to like be reborn and then grow up to be like 18 or
To
something.
turn himself old all of a sudden.
Yes. What the hell?
He's like-
It makes no sense. The ending's insane.
He said,
Or a grandmother.
I have a doggy training business. Naturally, it's very successful.
That was my favorite line of the whole fucking movie. Actually, no,
Okay.
my favorite line closely above that is when she finds out Kyle's gay and she's like, why is Kyle gay? Kyle gay, Kyle gay, why Kyle gay?
Oh
Like
my
a
gosh.
minute.
Oh man. Happy Pride Month, by the way.
Yeah. happy Pride Month.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh my god. There's so many fucking lines. I'm just looking at them right now.
Yeah.
Like
Tell
King
us-
of the
tell
Castle.
us.
King of the Castle is also a dog and lives in a house that is green. What is that about? I love it. I love it.
My
Grandma,
favorite.
your pizza face cinder block.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. So good.
My favorite is, I am so depressed right now. I need some Kung Pao chicken. I gotta get me some Kung Pao, man. Kung Pao.
It's like so uncanny valley for every line.
And he was saying like the way the director would direct him was she would do like literal line readings. So this is exactly what she wants. Kung Pao, man. Kung Pao.
Pow. Oh god.
The other one that I love is, I need doggy Prozac.
Like 5 different times. Like he keeps bringing up doggy Prozac.
When he eats the picture of Kyle, he's like one of these photos tastes Japanesey.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's so racist. I love it.
I wonder if he like improvised that line or if that was written by the
Oh my God.
director. That'd be insane.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Christ, this fucking movie. Also, what's up with her friend? Her like best friend.
Paula.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
also mildly
understand her
racist.
character. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't understand her character at all the entirety of the film. Like she's trying to get Lisa laid for the first half, and then she's shaming Lisa for getting laid in
Yes.
the second.
It's so weird, and I could almost tell that the actors were like, this doesn't make sense, and they were trying to like adjust it, maybe not be so pissed off, and like kind of like try to make it work, but it just doesn't. It doesn't fucking work. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
They have all disavowed the movie completely. It's interesting.
Even the ones that got married because of it, that's depressing.
That's crazy. What a story, though.
Yeah.
I hope their wedding night was just watching it with their whole family.
Oh, man.
The production design, like, Lisa's house or apartment thing has so many weird, like, curtains, like, dividers. Like fabric dividers.
The one that he hides in that's just a circle.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know. I was going to ask you. You're the production designer.
I don't get it. I kept thinking, is this the shower?
Like, I thought like the worst lampshade and like the zipper so you could change it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. No, it makes no fucking sense. I loved like the first time I watched it, I was just looking at all the green plates. And I was like, wow. I think the sponge was green too. Like, just so much. I can't believe that's the symbolism. Imagine you're taking some like poetry class with your literature teacher, and she's like, "Green, what does green symbolize?"
I thought she was just like a big Fairly Odd Parents fan, and that's why she was green and her friend was purple or pink.
Nope. Nope.
Oh man.
Does he choose to become a dog at like when he leaves her? Because he morphs into a dog.
Yeah, no, because he like thinks about leaving her and then he comes back, but then dies.
No, but when he leaves her, he like sits on the thing and he like just turns into a dog and like walks away.
Because isn't it daytime?
No, it's night.
It's night?
He just chooses to be a dog. And I'm like, if you could switch this whole time.
Oh my god.
I couldn't even tell you like when this was in the movie because like it's like a night.
It's a blur.
It's like explaining a nightmare to someone right after you wake up. It's like
yeah, I guess he writes the letter and he's sitting on like the stairs.
He writes the letter, he sits on the stairs, and then he turns into a dog and walks away.
He's also naked, and he's has a little towel just hanging out outside.
Unbelievable.
Because he has to be shirtless this whole
That guy's hair. I can't.
Especially
was it a wig?
young him when he came back.
No.
It's like
no.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I can tell why they fell in love in real life.
He looks like the vegan guy from Scott Pilgrim.
Todd the vegan.
Yes. Yep. Yes. That like fake hair shit. I can't like. It looks so bad. Jesus Christ.
Shall we do favorite scenes?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Before we do that though, I have an interesting question that I'm gonna ask you every movie, guys.
Okay.
Let's say you're given the pitch, you're given the concept. How would you, since this is your movie, Sabrina, I'll ask this of you. How would you remake it into a good movie?
Ooh.
Shit, man. I don't know. Does it have to be like objectively good? Like I'm trying to like, I don't know, win a fucking Oscar or whatever, or just
you don't have to win an Oscar, but like a good rom-com with a dog.
Rom-com with a dog. I don't know. I feel like if it were more self-aware, I think it'd be a lot funnier if people like, because Lisa kind of goes like, "You're a dog, what?" Like after they hook up and he turns into a dog. And that's like already a feeling that people have when you're watching it because you're like, ew. Bestiality, ew. So I feel like if they were more aware of that and just like mentioned it more, like how fucking weird that is, or how fucking gross. I feel like that'd be a major improvement. I would like simplify the plot. Damn, it's like it goes everywhere and like space it out different. I will say, like, this movie, the first 30 minutes, there's a lot going on and it's a lot easier to watch, and then it like hits a like plateau and it gets so slow. So I would do something like that, kind of change shit around. I'm tempted to keep
you have the hardest answer for this question.
It's super hard, but I kind of like I don't know if I would make it a better movie. That's my answer, I guess. Like, I would just try to make it make a little more sense, and then keep it as like what the fuck as possible, because it's so enjoyable. But like, Babbling Brook stays in. Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
Shit, like when they go to the museum, which is okay. Why are they just visiting a museum and he has to, like, the dog has to stay outside. He's like talking with other dogs. I love that we get like a universe here. Like, I would keep shit like that. That's like, what the fuck? It just kind of makes it. So I wouldn't make it better. I'd just like simplify it, and then just make it shorter too.
Yeah. I know I'm putting you on the spot, and I'm also giving you a movie that's as bad as this. Yeah. So no pressure.
Chill. I mean, there's also like a more real answer of like every fucking thing I make is like emotional and like artsy, so I'd make it emotional and artsy or whatever. Yep. But sometimes movies don't call for that, and I think this is one of those cases where it's like, it's just weird and it's kind of great.
I think there's potential if you make it a movie where he is like trying to win her over, but she doesn't know he's a dog, and he's like making an excuse like, oh, I can only hang out at night, and she's like, is he a vampire? And then all of a sudden he's a golden retriever. I think maybe if you took it that direction and have some
I see it.
linearity to it, I don't know.
I love that the fortune teller was like, well, he must turn into a dog. There's no other way.
Clearly.
So bad.
And when he turns into a dog in front of the family, which we could transition to favorite scenes because this is one of mine. When he turns into a dog because of in front of the family, and she just like jumps in the pool.
And then they move on immediately after. There's no reaction of, what?
Everybody's
Is your
like,
husband's
okay.
dog?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, fuck.
We love him. Yeah, that whole scene is fantastic. With him meeting the family. My favorite though is gotta be when like one of the random montages that are way too fast.
I was gonna say that.
She literally wakes up, she changes clothes in like the fastest you've ever seen, and then it cuts to her sleeping again immediately.
Hard day's work.
I laughed for like 3 minutes because of that. For some reason, something about it just hit me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And the bed is like covered in fur too, like doggy looking
and it's
fur.
the worst bed you've ever seen.
It's like,
So bad.
it's like an oval shaped. It's so weird.
Is it a heart, or I don't, because there's like a heart on the back, but then it's like a weird circle and it's just ugly brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I think just the headboard was a heart shape.
It was a heart.
And
okay.
Yeah.
Good God. So bad.
Sexy.
Yeah, what are some of your favorite scenes?
Honestly, same. Like, I was thinking those two, and then I really like just in general, everything that... Oh, wait. I just had a realization. I don't know if I watched a different version, but the one on Tubi doesn't have the whole, like, the dog goes to the audition scene. Do you guys remember that? Okay, so there's like...
yeah. No, yeah, I do. And they're like, pick the red phone, and he like picks up the red phone.
Yeah, at least the version I watched doesn't have that, but I've seen a previous one that did, where they go to like go buy clothes. That's my favorite scene, by the way. Yeah. When they're standing in front of the window and they're like, I like that one, and the voice is so off. It's like the worst voiceover of your life. ADR is so shit. And they just like walk in. They do this whole thing where like the dog gets kicked. That's terrible. And a guy says, "Here, take my number," for an audition.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't, like, in the Tubi version that I was looking, I don't know if something happened where I like exited and went back in, but I did not see the scene where he goes to audition.
Oh. It
And
was
that's
in the
like a
version
whole
I watched.
plot point. Yeah, I had seen it before, so I wonder. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
The girl during that audition scene is so horny for some reason. She's like way turned on to everything the dog does. He'll like pick up a phone and she's like, "Oh, yes. Oh, perfect." I'm just like, oh.
It's exactly what you want out of a casting director.
Yeah.
It's a recurring theme. Being horny.
Oh man. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know my favorite. There's a couple. When Paula is just introducing her kids, and then you realize it's not her kids, it's her grandkids. And I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
how many years have passed by?
Oh, you're a grandmother, Paula. You're a grandmother.
I wrote just grandma in big letters and like what is going on? When he like when he's being chased by Rita and it's a time lapse, and then like he just has the dog tail hanging out the back of his shirt when he goes into the bathroom. It was great. I love the shot of when she's on the phone with her mom and her mom is on a rocking chair in the dark for no reason. And she's totally backlit. It looks legitimately scary. Like, I love it so much. I had just seen The Conjuring like a couple days before. I rewatched the first one. I was like, this is perfect. I love this. I'm back into this movie. I think my number one favorite though is when I forget who it is, but the woman in the purple dress is like she's trying on the dress, and the people who are working at the store are telling her that she's too fat for the dress.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
she's farting while she's adjusting the dress. And the farts are so like obviously not real farts. They're
Yeah.
clearly someone
Anytime
in
she
front of a
like
microwave.
bends, there's a beat and then the fakest fart.
Yeah. It's great.
Oh shit.
There's the I'm a dog driving in a car. We're going to her house. Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
great. It's great. The whole thing, man.
Also,
Alvin Flang saves this movie, man.
yeah, definitely.
A lot of heavy lifting.
The scene where Kyle's mom is explaining that she can't have kids so that her like stepchild can be president or whatever. Whatever's happening in that scene.
Oh my God. Wait, that also, I mean, it doesn't literally happen in Succubus, but that's a common theme right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Growing up to be president. Shit.
And like I'm pretty sure that whole scene is shot through the aquarium, right? Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's like was that the restaurant?
No, they were in
it was
Kyle's
after the
house.
restaurant when they go
Oh,
back
for
to
sure.
Kyle's house. Which also, why is she on the date with them? Oh, it's
Crazy.
great. It's a great movie. I loved it.
Such a good
And the
time.
introduction of all these men, like, they're fucking terrible. Like, why do all these guys totally suck? He
Yep.
just shows, I think that's the one that shows up to the store and he's like, I'm trying to buy something.
What would you wear?
Yeah. Well, she looks like
Whatever
you.
you want.
What do you want?
She's exactly your size, Lisa.
Oh
Also, why does he know her name already before? Or I guess she has a name
Yes.
tag. Never mind. But it's still
It's so
weird.
funny. That is weird. And of course she picks the fucking green thing because she's
Well,
fucking
obvious.
horny.
She's so horny.
What the hell? What the hell?
It's
Oh.
great. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
So what's purple? Because like her friend, everything's fucking fuchsia and purple.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
sure.
think that's just racist. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing, like it's like stereotypes, black women stereotypes. It's fucking ridiculous.
I agree. I'm not sure that he didn't say what color her thing was supposed to be. But the only thing she explained to him, I think, was the green.
Pink in Chinese culture is a shade of red, and it symbolizes good luck and joy.
Maybe she's like happy because she's like
She's
fulfilled.
getting
Yeah.
dick from 5 different men the entire movie.
I guess so.
Lots of grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, should we move on? Anything else you guys want? We could just keep talking for like 3 hours on any of these
know.
movies,
Oh,
honestly.
the B shots of the ducks.
Yeah.
There's so many ducks in this movie. And they're just sprinkled in at random, just like, there's a shot of the lake that we're not at, but okay.
Yeah.
Also, when he
think
cooks
that's
steaks, and it's the grayest food I've ever seen.
Anyway, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2.
Yeah.
What a
I
great.
have a confession.
What?
I didn't
didn't watch
realize
it,
it
did
was the
you?
second one. I watched the first one.
Oh, really?
Shit.
Yep.
Dude, you missed so much then.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, because the first one's just bad. Like, it's not that enjoyable. But the second one.
Damn it.
So there's also sexual assault in the first one.
There's so
No,
much
so-
sexual assault in the first one.
So the first one, no. So the second one, they literally had no money. So it's a 90-minute movie. 40 minutes are recap of the first movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's why. I know exactly which scenes you're talking about because even though I've never seen the first one, because the first
For
one
sure.
they show all the killings in the first one, in the second movie.
Gotcha. So I guess I watched a part of what we're going to be reviewing.
I guess.
Yes.
Good.
Should we skip it if you haven't seen it?
No, I'm down to talk
We
about
can
it. I'm
still-
sure we
we
can
can
still
still
talk
talk
about
shit.
a lot of stuff. Yeah. And also, I'm a film major. I can bullshit forever.
Yeah.
I
This is
guess.
true. You know who did watch the real movie though? And that's Quahog in everybody's favorite segment. Cool.
Bad reviews.
Jared reads poorly written reviews of movies that are funny because it makes him laugh and stuff. This one says, one of my favorite horror movies of all time, parentheses, possible spoilers. They gave it a 10 out of 10. And unlike the last one, they genuinely loved this movie. And I am curious why. So far, I have only seen parts 2 and 4 in this series. Part 4 was okay, but part 2 simply rocked. Since I haven't seen the first one, I could enjoy the constant use of footage from part 1 featured in the first half of this movie. Parentheses, about half an hour of footage from part 1 is used here. The plot was interesting and more complicated than your average slasher film. The character of Ricky was well developed. We learned his feelings about his brothers, actions first, then we learned about his life and how he eventually driven to murder. He doesn't actually don the Santa suit until the last 15 minutes or so, and by the time he does, we completely understand what makes him tick. We pity him, hate him, admire him, and fear him all at once. The script is well written and suspenseful, and by the time the climax comes around, we are on the edge of our seats. The directing is pretty simple, point and shoot, but there are a few scary scenes and kills, but most of the mayhem is only good for a cheap thrill, and a very fun cheap thrill at that. Overall, one of the best horror movies I've ever seen and a very fun film. See it! I give Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 4 asterisks out of 4 asterisks.
Nice. Yeah.
Amazing.
I wonder how
Let's hear
many
that.
horror movies that guy has seen or that person has seen.
2, Part
2.
2, and Part 4 of Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, I guess so.
And about 30 minutes of Part 1.
Yeah. Dude, this movie's a trip because, like, on one hand, it's like, I see where he's coming from. Like, there's somewhere in there, it's buried super, super deep, but
Yeah.
somewhere in there is an actually compelling conflict. Of course, they drop the ball in several different ways, and the result is what we get. But I also genuinely love this movie, but ironically so. I think it's got some of the like weirdest and most in your face editing that I've ever seen. Some of the jump scares are so wacky and like uh and uh and like not scary at all, but like still kind of, but like they make you laugh. This is of course the origin of the amazing meme wherein Ricky kills a guy taking out the trash and says, "Garbage day." Um, so if you've seen that, go watch Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 because that's where this movie is from. It actually contextualizes this. When Ricky finally gets a gun, he goes on this iconic killing spree, and that's the best part of it. Yeah, the entire thing half the movie is recap of Silent Night, Deadly Night 1,
I'm the
wherein
expert.
yes, wherein Billy, who witnessed Santa murder his father and murder and rape his mother, grew up in an orphanage where he was abused by nuns and then became a serial killer, dressed up on Christmas. And every time he kills someone, he says the words "punish, punish." And Ricky continues to do the same thing later on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this and so the movie is Ricky recapping Billy's story, even though for most of that Ricky was not there. So how does he know? And then after that, Ricky breaks out of the asylum and goes on his own killing spree, wherein he gives in this one and in the scene with the therapist, we see literally one of the greatest performances ever put to celluloid, with Eric Freeman as Ricky Caldwell. I think it's absolutely magical. Someone counted, and he moves his eyebrows up and down 130 times throughout the course of the film. He really wanted to be like the actor genuinely wanted to be a cold and calculating and evil villain. The director wanted like something wisecracking like Freddy Krueger, and the writer wanted something that was over the top and hilarious. And what the end result is this really amazing amalgamation of all three visions of this character, I think. And so for this performance, and because I love it a lot, and because I'll genuinely like watch this movie probably every Christmas now, I'm giving this a negative 8.9. Like some of I think the the themes of rape and sexual assault get hammered in way too hard. I think we don't need to see that many scenes like that. But there is one really great one involving a red Jeep. But we'll get to that later.
Oh my gosh.
Jared, what did you think about the movie?
I enjoyed it thoroughly. This movie kind of breaks the negative 10 to 10 scale for me because I like it because it's bad, but also it's so close to being an actually good slasher film that
Yeah.
that I
It's great.
don't know where it would fit because like different casting and a different director, you kind of got a decent movie at the bones of it.
Yeah.
Um, and so like I gave it a negative 5 because of that, but like my enjoyment because it was a fun slasher and because it was a fun bad movie were like both higher than a 5, and so it's confusing. But I thought it was fun. Ricky was terrible. Uh, I think he was the worst. Some like worse acting than some of the people in Love on a Leash.
Oh my
And
god, that's a
I
tall
will
order.
stand by that. But just everything he says, like his cadence, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Doc. Did I go too fast for you?" Like
It's great.
everything he does is like so over the top that
I love it.
it's crazy. But like it's a fun slasher. There's creative kills, which is like live or die by the slasher.
Hmm.
Um, but it's also just such a bad movie. Like I really don't know how to I really don't know how to feel about it. It's very conflicting inside.
Yeah. I feel like it'll creep closer and closer to a -10 the more I watch it. But this
Yeah,
was also this was my
absolutely.
first viewing. Uh, the um, the YouTube reviewer Chris Stuckman does the has this has
Mm,
these hilariosity reviews where they're atrocity movies that he finds hilarious. And this was
yeah.
one. This was his Christmas special for one of these years, one of the past
Mm.
years.
You
And
also hit
so
us with
he,
the fun facts already. Oh, sorry. Oop. Didn't realize that. Nope. Go.
no, you're good, you're good.
I didn't realize that you were still talking. My bad.
No, you're good, you're good. But yeah, there's not that many fun facts, except that Eric Freeman is actually like a really good sport about the meme. Like he even came back to play Ricky for a short film,
Ooh.
and it's just like old him, and it's on YouTube. It's pretty cool. And he even did audio commentary in the movie for one of the DVD releases, where he makes fun of
Nice.
himself. Yeah, and I have not seen that, but I've heard good things. Um, yeah, the yeah, it's a really really interesting movie. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say this movie's banned in the UK.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
damn.
Yeah, which
I
is
read the first
hilarious to me.
one. The first one was hella drama too. They had like hour-long specials about it on TV, like talking with like I guess like an Oprah talk show kind of thing, but not with Oprah.
Yeah.
Just talking with society about it, and a lot of like the release after it, like on HBO and on TV and stuff like that, got pulled because they didn't want drama with Coca-Cola. Because Coca-Cola
Oh,
is
because
like
of Saint.
Christmas and red, and yeah, yeah,
Wow.
Coke
which
is
is
like we
crazy.
monopolized that holiday.
Yeah.
I mean, Santa used to not like. I think he wore like a purple suit or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
red was like Coca-Cola's thing. So,
yeah.
kind of makes sense. I don't know if they can make that claim, but like the production company was already like scared, so they didn't even start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my rating about the first
Yeah,
one, which
yeah.
who
Go
Tell
for
us
it.
your
cares?
thoughts.
But it's 30 minutes of the movie you watched, so.
Go for it.
Um, I'm gonna give it like a -3. It was honestly a pretty hard watch. I can imagine the second one's an easier watch just because it seems more like silly and
Yeah.
like over the top. So I'm gonna have a great time watching it later. but but no, it was like there was a lot of sex scenes which were pretty good. Not the typical like prude American. They're fucking, but there's no titties. There were titties in the first one. Rape scenes are a little extra. Like, I'm good on that. And just seeing women get murdered is like, it's just hard to watch sometimes. So I had to watch it in 2 sittings. But I will say, my favorite part of this movie was the Christmas songs. I don't know if they do that in the second one, but in the first one, they're
I
all
don't think so.
knockoffs. So they're like slightly different, and there's only like 2 original like classic Christmas songs. All the rest are kind of like generally alluding to like he's gonna come to your house and it's a beautiful night, and like they're so abstract and like general.
Oh
And I
my
can pull
god.
some lyrics up later while you guys are
That's
talking, but
amazing. Please do.
it's fucking I just love that so much because they're just really random lyrics. I don't know if they wanted to like pay for actual songs, but there's only two. So it's great to hear knockoff Christmas songs.
Yeah. And like overall, so how does the story end in the first one? Because
Well, it's the brother going like I don't know if he says, I think he says naughty. I don't think he says punished. He just goes
in the
naughty.
orphanage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
that scene is in the second one.
They kill his brother right in front of him, and he makes his face and just says naughty, and that's it. And I have like a freeze frame and like a crazy sound, which is so typical of like that type of movie. It's kind of fun. I see where it goes logically. It makes sense what you guys are saying. It's like, that's the next step. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking, like, this movie's sponsored by the American Psychology Corporation. Fucking, like, trauma. Going to therapy, a concept. This fucking kid. Yeah.
It's funny
the whole
you
movie,
mentioned
they're just forcing him to be, like, hang out with Santa Claus. It's a recipe for disaster. But yes.
Yeah.
Continue, please.
It's funny you mentioned the music, because I hated the music so much in the second one. It's like vaguely Christmas piano, but they're like trying to make a horror score out of it. And so it's just this abomination that's way too loud and drowns everything out. And I much would have preferred the tacky lyrics.
I'll find them.
But when Ricky meets Jennifer, they play a sexy sax, and it's so good. Like,
They go Blade Runner on it for a second.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert. Sorry, Sabrina. The way he meets the love of his life, she hits him. He's on a motorcycle, and she hits him with her car, and then laughs, and then they fall in love. Like, I don't care how hot you are. If you're laughing at me after a car accident, bro,
that's fucked up.
Big red flag. Big red flag. I was happy when he killed her.
Their dates are all of my favorite scenes, I think.
Oh my god!
Like,
tell me how you feel.
At one point, they go to the movies, and there's this super loud, obnoxious teen. Who's just trying to like piss him off the whole time. There's some homophobic slurs in there.
Yeah.
But it's great. Like everybody's talking during the movie, but two of the characters are talking about how they're pissed off that this guy's talking during the movie. And like just everything the annoying guy says is like hilarious to me.
Yeah.
And it's just so good.
Yeah. Killing that fantastic guy is like my main fantasy as a movie lover. Like,
absolutely.
If I could strangle everybody who talks during a movie, I'd be so happy. Yeah. And I love the way he kills him too, because it's like the Conjuring style pan over, and then there's nothing, and then pan over, and then he's there, and then he strangles him.
And his friend just disappears out of nowhere.
There's nowhere his friend doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Most of my like the bad parts of this movie for me are just all Ricky. Like the scenes with Billy that come from the first one, I'm like, this seems like just like a shitty but like okay slasher film. At least the parts that they pick and choose, because they're obviously gonna pick like the people getting murdered and shit. But
yeah,
like Ricky is just so terrible. And like I saw too, I think you mentioned it before, how like the director was like, no, play it like this. This is exactly how I want you to do it. And so like I can't really fault the actor too much. But man, is bad.
It's
he's the worst.
It's iconic. I love it. I love it so much.
The last words he says for context, Sabrina, he just looks into the camera and he goes, "Naughty this." What? That's the worst kill line I've ever heard. And punish is the one for most of the movie.
Oh,
punish. Yeah, it's interesting because Billy, you understand, like, okay, this is a really messed up kid. He's sick. He's twisted, and that's why he's doing all these killings. But with Ricky, he kind of transcends and becomes this vigilante defender of people who get bullied and people who get raped.
Yeah.
There's this woman and she's on a date, and this is one of my favorite scenes. And it's with young Ricky, who somehow looks older than old Ricky.
Because it's played by an actor who's 3 years older than old Ricky.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. He's supposed to be 15 years old in this scene, and he looks like he's 40. But so the guy goes to his truck or to his Jeep, and it's a red Jeep, so it's already triggered Ricky, who's watching from the bushes for no reason. And the guy and he runs over the attempted rapist, and then the woman goes up to him and says, "Thank you." And it's like really sincere and like super wacky, and I love it. What else? Oh yeah, there's a bunch of like really awesome Ricky lines too. Like I love it. It's great. When he's recapping Billy getting spanked by Mother Superior, there's like they use the spanking noise to hard cut like in between him talking to the therapist and the spanking itself. So he's like, "She was naughty." It's so bad. That's truly like it's that kind of editing is a gift from God. I love it.
Yeah. There's also some lines in here that are like downright like detrimental to like say in movies and shit. Like when in one of the many sexual harassment and assault parts in this, I think it is the Jeep. Um, he's like pressuring her and like touching her, and she's like, "No, with your friends it's funny, but not here." I'm like, wait, he's like straight up
I forgot
groping
about
you
that.
without consent, and you're like, "It's fine as long as your friends are around."
Oh, I
Weird.
forgot about that. Oh, that's so gross. Oh man.
Yeah. I was so like I cringed so hard.
God.
Thoroughly unpleasant.
Yeah.
I've got some lyrics.
Oh,
Go
Do you guys
for it.
want to
yes,
hear 'em?
please. Can you sing them?
Please do.
No.
Please do. Please
No.
do. We have no singing on the Jaredcast. You need to do it.
Yeah.
You'll be the first.
Jared will put backing music
can't.
for you. It'll be vague and Christmassy.
I could try, but I don't. You're probably gonna hear my iPad because I'm gonna have to sing with it.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but like
I kind of like. I have to.
You don't have to, but
No.
we
I
would
have to.
appreciate it.
I'll try it.
oh man, okay. All right. If you insist.
This is your choice.
This is 100%
You're gonna
your
hear
call.
my iPad. Okay. Christmas fever. It goes so fast too. Holy shit. Okay, wait. Because the lyrics, I love it. Just because they like speed through the fucking lyrics.
Okay.
I'm gonna try. Wait. This is so much pressure because I didn't even think of this. Okay.
Temperature right now here in Bartlettsville, 21 degrees.
She's taking the headphones off.
I'm trying. Cheer, this is how grand it is to feel so very. Life is very gay. When people catch the Christmas fever, how delightful on the sequence. Saints and angels sing along. Holly hung just right, and faces bright with Christmas fever. They got so fast. I can't keep up. Feel so very. Life is very gay. And they just keep going.
Yeah, you don't
I'm not
need to
kidding.
keep. That was
You guys need
amazing.
to listen.
I love
was-
that.
That was
If
great.
you guys give me time, I can do an acoustic cover.
Ooh,
I
we'll shoot a music
appreciate it.
video for it.
It just goes so fast, and they just like speed through these lyrics, and they're vaguely Christmassy, so it's like saints and angels and shit like that. So very, they don't finish the sentence.
No,
Life
it
is so gay.
very.
Face is bright with Christmas fever. Terrifying.
You 100% don't have to do this, but I'm
might.
starting to put like outro music at the end of every episode. So if you want to record sometime before like Friday, and send it to me
Yes.
before like Friday.
But I'll do it slow. This song goes so fast, and maybe I could do like a jazzy cover of it. I've been singing. I've been
Yeah.
singing since I was 5, man. I have to do this. I
Oh,
have
so,
to.
so you could actually sing.
Yes. That
Oh,
was
I didn't know
shit,
that. That's awesome.
But I can actually sing. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've been taking classes for a very long time. That was great.
Hey.
The fucking horn.
It really shows.
That made buying this all worth it.
I'll do like a very like pretentious cover of the song.
Okay.
It'll be very
Sounds
short, but I'll
Sounds
do
good.
it.
I'll play
I do
it.
also think we have an episode coming out before, because isn't next week Brian's? And so, like, you do theoretically have more time.
No, I
Yeah.
can do it.
Or am I crazy?
I'll do it as soon
No.
as we're done.
We're airing this episode next Tuesday, and then
Okay.
Brian is that one will go on
Gotcha,
gap. Yeah.
gotcha. Never mind.
I'll do it because I also have to prove to y'all now that I can do this. It's like that's a shitty version of my singing that's gonna be on Spotify mostly forever.
Yeah.
We don't fucking know. Now I need to prove everyone wrong and do this the best way I can.
Oh man. Well, great. That's awesome. And yeah, I'll keep. We could text about it later too.
Sure.
Anything else you guys want to talk about for Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, or for Part 1? For your thoughts.
Thank you.
This is you're the first for a lot of things, because this is the first time we've had a guest not watch a movie.
Yeah.
You're
I
our
sang
first,
though.
You're our first like woman filmmaker guest, and the first person to not watch a movie, and the first person to
man.
sing.
I'm so sorry.
Out here breaking
Smashed the
records.
two.
No,
But
you're
You're
also,
also the first to do a cover, so you get
Yeah.
points for that.
Yeah.
people can probably like scroll back to the beginning of this and hear just the sheer silence when Jared goes part deux, and I go what in my head, just like holy shit.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck, man.
Yeah.
It's okay. No, like literally, it's fine because there's not a whole lot else to say. Because this is one of those movies where you just have to kind of experience it, and like, I can't really do it, like Eric Freeman's performance justice.
Yes.
Just talking about it, you just got to see it. I'll send you a highlight list or
Yeah.
a highlight
yeah.
video too. Yeah.
I do have 2 questions for Jared, though.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
One, how would you make this a good movie?
Oh hell yeah. And 2?
And 2, what's your favorite kill?
Oh,
Also,
okay, great.
Sabrina can answer this because most of the kills in this movie are in her movie too. So that
I
one's
have
for
a
the
favorite.
that one's for the table.
I hope it's in it. Yeah.
The one that the kill that I would actually do is the movie theater, but the one that I like the most visually is excuse me, having a stroke here. Sorry.
Oh, fuck.
I felt like I was having a stroke watching all of these movies.
Another first.
Do I smell burnt toast? No. Sorry, bad joke. I'll cut that. My favorite kill visually is the car battery when so he puts a jumper cable onto Lisa's ex-boyfriend's mouth and on
onto
his tongue.
teeth.
On his,
Or on his
yeah.
tongue. Okay.
And so he electrocutes him so badly that his eyeballs explode out of his sunglasses. It's actually like really cool to watch. Like it's like perfect bad 80s effects.
Yeah.
And her
There's like
reaction.
electricity going through his mouth and shit.
It's great.
Holy shit.
Yeah, what was yours before I do my remake?
I can go. My favorite kill, the first one. I hope it's in the second, but I have a feeling it might not. It's when these 2 guys go sledding. Does that?
Hell
ring a
yeah!
bell?
I was
It
hoping
is.
you'd say that. Hell yeah! That's so good. It's so good.
It was great. I fucking loved it. So they're sledding down the fucking mountain, and the guy just like chops his head off, and he shows up headless, still holding on, still holding on, mind you, just like human strength going. And then the head rolls down like immediately after, and I think the head looked so good. I kind of thought, is he just buried in the ground? Did they shoot in the actual snow? Is he fucking freezing, or is that a prosthetic? Because it looked really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite kill. And I was reading some of the trivia since I bought it on Amazon Prime, so you get the like X-ray. I love that shit.
Oh wow.
But so I was just reading the trivia, and the director was so grossed out with how gruesome this movie was, so every kill scene was directed by the editor. Like, he just couldn't take it. Yeah, that's true.
Why would you do that? Why would you direct a slasher movie if you can't handle gore?
It's crazy, but just the editor just took over for all those, and they're pretty good too. So
yeah, I would. Yeah, that's another big positive is like the kills are actually really creative. I know Jared talked about that already, but like, what's your favorite kill, Jared?
You guys both stole my top two, the electricity and the sled. But I'll give a quick shout out to when he hangs a woman on a like deer head mount.
Yes.
And the boyfriend's like walking around it like, "Where are you, babe? You better not be playing with me."
Magnificent.
That was great.
Yeah.
And immediately after, I don't know if you guys got that too, but he calls the police. And they're like fighting it out, and it's like this drama. I think he grabs like one of those things that poke fires. He's just like attacking him with it. And he grabs the phone and he goes, "Hello, operator, can I talk to the police?" Like in the most like calm. He's so chill. And then he gets fucking axe murdered. But it's like, wow, that's very low energy, my guy, but okay.
Yeah. Good for you, I guess. That's hilarious.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know. Things like that like make this movie what it is. So I would take like the basic concept of a kid who was traumatized in Catholic school and going on a revenge quest, and dressed up as Santa. I would keep that, but I would make the story probably entirely different. I even had a thought like, what if like the school itself decorated in Christmas decorations was the only setting, and he rigged it kind of Saw style, and so then so you're following the nuns, and you're following the one good nun who was nice to him is trapped in the middle of this, and she's seeing all of her friends who were her sisters who are cruel, but like they're still her sisters, you know, they're getting, you know, like brutally dismembered and electrocuted and burned alive and crushed and all the like. I could still do the creative kills, just like it'll be like homemade Christmas Saw is how I would do it. I think that would actually like
So
help
Home
the
Alone.
movie. Yeah. I think that would help it like you know, like this series, the parts that the movie wants us to take seriously, I think that would actually punch it up a lot. And I think that, you know, like I said, that, you know, there's a like beneath all the so bad it's good stuff, there actually is a compelling conflict here between an abused child and his like taking revenge on his abusers, and making it holiday related. Like I think it's really fun, and I think it could be really fun. I think you could take it in a direction that's a lot that's like still black comedy, but like really like dark. Like
Yep.
like I'm gonna go like new Evil Dead dark, but still kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I would take it.
Nice.
Any other thoughts about Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2?
Quick shout out to the most confusing character in the movie, the like orderly who just like sticks his head in when he suspects things are going on, and then he just like backs up. It's the Sabrina. I sent you a video. He's the one who goes like this, and then like does the worst finger
Oh,
wag,
yeah.
and then like sulks
That's
out of the
hilarious.
room. I love
That's great.
him. I don't know why he's there. He just keeps showing up, and then the therapist is like, "Get out!" And that's his whole role.
Yeah,
Fuck.
dude, it's great. And like, there's a jump scare too when he has the lighter. Like, oh man, so stupid.
It is. It is. But go watch it. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, highly
yeah.
recommend part 2. I can't speak for part 1, but highly recommend
Yeah.
part 2.
Would you
Part
recommend
one
part
was
one?
hard. It was just, it's a hard watch because there's funny things, but it's like not enough to like cleanse the palate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was watching stupid TikToks immediately after because I was like, oh God. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's a hard
Yeah.
watch.
That's
yeah.
fair.
I'm sorry I inadvertently put you through that.
That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. And it's like, and I kept thinking like I watch The Handmaid's Tale all the fucking time, and I
Oh,
watch a
geez.
bunch of shit, and but it's weird. There's like, I was just thinking about how I guess there's ways to approach those topics, and I don't know. That's a whole
Yeah.
other conversation for an episode that's not about bad movies, but more so about like fucked
we'll
up
have a
ones.
rape revenge movie for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, have you guys seen Revenge on Shudder? It's like
No.
a French movie. That's a good one, I would say.
Noted.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Succubus Hellbent. Before we get into it, though,
Cool.
Bad reviews.
I think you guys know what's coming. Jared reads poorly written reviews of movies because it's funny. It makes him laugh and stuff.
Oh, such a surprise.
This one, I had 2 positive reviews for the last 2 movies. I could not find a funny review for this movie for some reason. It was struggling. I was having a rough time, and then I went over to was it Rotten
Letterboxd?
Tomatoes? No, I think it might have been Rotten Tomatoes. No, Amazon. I went on Amazon reviews, and I found a little gem by Sexy, giving it a 1 out of 5 stars, saying, "Playboys beware, Lilith deserves better." Uh, Lilith deserves better treatment and portrayal than a C-grade movie. If not for sexy Natalie Denise Sparrow and her well-chosen tight body-hugging costume, this
Oh my
movie ought to
God.
be redone, but with better research and hotter action. Natalie Denise Sparrow plays Lilith the Succubus, who comes into a playboy's life and teaches him what commitment really means. If the aim of this movie is a lesson to playboys, it doesn't deliver the message enough. The producers did one thing right. The succubus summoning spell used in the movie mimics the actual spell. It's been modified, of course. Summoning such demons is a very easy thing to do. The unfortunate thing is people have to deal with banishing them. You can't banish succubi with garlic, guns, nunchucks, cartoon medallions. Those last scenes are in the movie need to be redone. Looks like somebody wanted to rush through production. Rigid plastic props as wings for succubus Lilith. Ha, ha, ha. I can produce a better movie than this one. Playboys beware. The next hot girl you pick up, use, and dump could be the most sticky ride of your lives. Lilith and her succubi companions are already here on Earth. Do you want their numbers? And then a little happy face.
What?
Jeez.
Okay. This is
I
like
can't tell how he feels about it.
this is this might be the first review where I like have no idea where to start with this.
Yeah. It's a
So-
documentary.
Wait, so he knows, or whoever sexy is, maybe it's a she.
I think
Um,
she. It sounded like a she to me.
Okay.
but I'm still assuming in there.
I think the reason why I keep assuming is just because it's your voice that I'm hearing. So like,
It is my voice. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, uh, yeah. I think it's just sexy. That's their handle.
Yep, just sexy.
Okay.
And it had a little picture of a sun, and it was like super pixelated, and I thought
All right.
it was funny and worth mentioning for some reason.
Cool. Yeah. So sexy is weirdly into succubi fiction and succubi mythology.
Well,
They
fiction, I think they'd be offended by that, but go on.
Yes. Yeah. They believe that they're real and they think that they know how to defeat one on their own.
And conjure, yes.
And they found Lilith's actress attractive, but did they like the portrayal or no?
Portrayal, yes, but like execution in like effects and stuff, no.
Yeah, like okay. Did they even like it? I don't know.
1 out of 5 stars, so I guess not.
I guess.
They were offended that they didn't do it justice.
I think that's worse than liking the movie is getting offended by this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why people would get offended by this movie. It's a piece of shit, and it's super male gazy and pervy and just awful all around.
Yeah.
Succubus Hellbent, if you haven't seen it, is a delightful little film from 2007, directed by creator and writer of Keenan and Kel, Kim Bass.
What?
I know.
What? Come again?
The writer-creator of Keenan and Kel directed Succubus Hellbent.
I like that show. How? What?
He also wrote for Sister Sister
Yep.
and In Living Color.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
So this is like someone who's involved with good stuff.
yeah.
like-
This
why-
was after.
Oh,
This
after
was
this.
after too. No. Like
Okay.
he made all this good shit, and then he
and
made
then
this.
Succubus
Oh
Hellbent.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
like 9 years after Keenan and Kel stopped, I think.
Oh my god.
Maybe
Why?
7. Yeah.
Yeah, this is shattering my world right now. 'Cause when
That's why I didn't want to tell you before we recorded.
but you're blowing my mind on camera right now. This is great.
Yep.
So when we watched this in China for
Uh-huh.
no reason, I'm pretty sure we did this like instead of going.
Instead of
Be-
exploring Beijing, because we were like, oh, we'll put it on while people are like getting ready and stuff, and we could not turn it off because it was such
Yeah.
insanity.
I thought Kim Bass was a woman, and I
Same.
thought they were trying to like be feminist and failing. Like I thought this was supposed to be like a feminist satire.
Mhm.
Like I was like, okay, so it's like all these really over the top sex scenes and close ups of asses and titties, but they're not actually showing anything. So maybe that's why. And I'm like trying to analyze it the second time, and I'm like trying to figure out, but no, it's just
Nope.
shitty.
It's just the male gaze, the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you can just kick us
Alright.
off. We'll get.
what-
'Cause I'm excited.
What might blow Sabrina's mind, I don't know how much research you did, is that this movie has $1.5 million budget, and 2 people died during filming.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
The jet scenes, which have no reason to be there, there was an accident, the jets crashed, and
No.
like 2 of the
No.
stunt pilots passed away.
No.
So like not only is this one of the worst movies, it fucking costed 2 people their lives and $1,500,000.
Yeah.
So not worth
I remember the day that we watched it. I like made everybody guess how the budget. And, like
Yeah.
nobody guessed over $1 million.
No.
It was great.
Because like
What
the whole budget for sure went to those jet scenes and
Yes.
went to getting Gary Busey for 10 minutes.
Oh my God. That was great.
which
though.
they
That was
promote
kinda worth it.
incessantly. He's the top billed on the movie. The trailer starts with starring Gary Busey, and like
Nope.
he's in it for 4 lines. But anyways, Succubus Hellbent follows 2 dashing young bachelors, which are 21 the whole time apparently, and they seem way older and creepier.
No.
Who go on a babe-seeking vacation in Cancun. Our lead, Adam, accidentally hooks up with a she-demon succubus named Lilith, who proceeds to stalk and torment and murder throughout his life. It's terrible. It's pervy. It's gross. The dialogue is batshit insane. You get great lines like, "You're telling me a skirt flew that plane."
Oh God.
You get some of the worst acting, shit cinematography, terrible editing. My favorite of which being the point of view shots of Lilith flying across the country at insane speed.
The night cameras. They do like a night camera every once in a while too.
I was getting a headache, so I legit like the second, third, fourth time I didn't even like watch it. I was like, so
Yeah,
done.
that's fine. Yeah, everything about this movie is trash, and I love every minute of it. I recognize how terrible it is, and I embrace it. I gave it a negative 8.8, just because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's such a shit show. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Sabrina.
I know, first timer. Let's go.
No, it was like God, it was bad. But it wasn't like I mean, it was bad. But it just seems like one of those movies that's so of the time. Like I'm not surprised that this was made at this time. The thing that stood out the most to me was the music. I keep talking about the music in all these movies, but the music is Jared frozen. Jared's frozen.
Really?
I think
He's got
so.
the
I'm just-
sassiest look on his face too.
I know. I'm just like, wow, you love the music.
Wait.
Oh damn! No, it's still
Oh, he's-
going.
okay, I gotta admit him back in. That's why. He
That's
straight up
hilarious.
lost connection.
No.
That's great. Oh
Yeah,
man.
no, Jared, big fan of the music.
Hello.
You got frozen on the funniest expression, dude. I can't wait for
did.
you to see it. Yeah. I can't wait for you to see it. It's so good. I'm gonna keep the whole thing in.
Good, perfect.
I'm down.
But
yeah,
yeah,
tell me your
so
thoughts.
the music.
We're still on Sabrina's thoughts about the music, by the way. That's where we're at.
Yeah, because I wanted to hear your
Of the
thoughts
music, I didn't hear any of her thoughts from the beginning.
too.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm on music. I guess that's
Okay,
like the
yeah.
first point. But yeah, I just really liked there were a lot of musical performances. And it was like kind of unexpected. Just especially like in Cancun at the beginning where it did not make sense that people
The
were
hit
just singing
track,
by the
Cutie
pool.
with the booty.
Yes.
Dude.
It was so
I
good.
can't find that song.
It was so good. And then later, just all these like bands, especially they're at the nightclub, like when I guess Lilith is like stalking them and kills his best friend.
Yeah.
And they're in the nightclub, and the song is like, "I wanna disappear," just like, ugh. And it's so like 2007. Yeah, and it's about like suicide and like, ugh. And he's just sitting there, just thinking about Lilith. It was hilarious. I love the music in this. Definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
I would give it a -5. Like, there's a lot of stuff I enjoyed. My other favorite thing, the way he says succubus. He says succubus. The whole time he's just like a succubus. And it's funny because Lilith says it right. Like everyone else says it right.
To him.
Yes, and even just like interacting. I don't know why. Like no one told this actor like, hey, by the way.
Great
But,
take, great take. But
real quick, can we just do a little thing? It's just so obvious and terrible. And honestly, I don't know if I should bring this up because this is embarrassing, but I used to be a big fan of like Incubus and Succubus and shit like that. Like, just the topic is so cool to me, and I
Yeah.
think I'm offended. Like, they did not like. It's such a cool concept, and they
It
didn't
is.
even use it. Like, the sex scenes kind of didn't make sense with the mythology because like it's supposed to be someone that drains your life energy through sex, and these sex scenes were like he's fine.
It's
There's
just
just like a
slightly rougher than average.
right.
sex.
Like, I would have
Yeah.
loved to have seen him, like, I don't know, some really shitty graphics of like his soul leaving his body or some shit,
Yeah.
like something really dramatic. And like, if
No.
we're going for this topic, go for the fucking topic. But
Mhm.
yeah, I really enjoyed it though.
Sounds
Just
good.
like all the hookups, especially it was the two sisters that were like, but we were having
looked
sex with
nothing
him
alike.
first, right? Also,
Yeah.
it's just so dumb. Jesus Christ. Oh, when the girlfriend's like, I'm gonna go for a swim. What? They were sleeping. She's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go swimming. What are you
I'll
talking
be back
about?
in 20 minutes.
Yeah. What the hell?
Wait, yeah, and she gets home at like 3 o'clock in the morning, so it's like
Yeah.
5 o'clock in the morning that she's doing this.
What the fuck?
The
Hilarious.
sisters, though, when the best friend tries hitting on them, and they're like, "Who do you think we are? We're not those kind of girls." When you were literally just about to have sex.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
I hold this movie very dearly in my heart. Because yeah, the whole it's one of the highlights of a month-long journey into China.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Like, it's up there with the Great Wall and with the riverboat. Like,
Uh-huh.
I legitimately, like, that was one of the most fun times I've ever had watching a movie. Rewatching it, I think for especially in the negatives and even in the positives, rewatchability is my is a big factor in my scores. Um, and that's why, like, sometimes I'll give a movie a little higher, or knock a movie down a peg because, like, I feel like I've gotten everything out of it.
Mhm.
This one, I feel like I've got one more watch in me for Succubus
Yeah,
after this.
same.
Yeah, I don't want to see it more than 3 times. But I'm down to see it a third time with you guys in person if
Yeah.
God willing, that ever happens.
Yeah.
That would be fun. But yeah, I gave it a negative 7.9. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's such a gift rewatching this and like rediscovering all the stuff that I blocked out of my own memory. Like, I forgot that Adam was in film school. Like,
Yes.
and it's
And
such a
spent
huge
The
part of the
editing bay.
movie.
$97,000 on editing equipment.
Oh my god.
And it's a fucking computer.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's that's really how it be sometimes, man. It
Yeah,
really
it's
be
the
like
grind,
that.
baby.
Film school's expensive.
Yeah, I also hate the sex scenes. I think the weird percussion that plays in the music is so bad. I think they're really uncomfortable and like it does the opposite of what it wants to do. I think especially the first hookup between Lilith and Adam.
Yeah.
I think I think that it's kind of sad that this movie has the best dialogue out of the 3 movies.
Well, it depends what you mean by best.
Yeah, no, I know, and yeah, like best as in like most like comprehensible. Like, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could not care less about Adam's daddy issues. I think they're not nearly as fun as the rest of the movie as they could be. Obviously it's there for a reason, but like still. I think Detective Pay is the shit. I think she's very underrated.
She tries so
Yes.
hard.
She's great. She's great. Asian representation, man. I
Yeah.
love it.
Do you want
I'm
do you
all
want to
about it.
say the line? Because it's your
Yeah.
fucking favorite line in this whole
Oh.
movie.
Did I even write it down?
Oh.
Okay. When she sits down on the chair, she says, I think you got a little rough with your girlfriend, and she got a lot of dead.
Oh my god.
You got a little rough, and she got a lot of dead. And he's like,
Lot of dead.
he's like, I want my lawyer. I want to be middle linebacker of the Dallas Cowboys, but it's
Yes.
not going to happen.
Who wrote that?
She's so awesome. She's so awesome. Kelly Who. Shout out Kelly Who. Please work with me on every movie. I want
Yes.
you. If you're still alive, I don't know.
No, she is.
says,
She's
"I
still
don't-"
working too.
Oh hell yeah. Okay, cool. She says, "I don't give a flying fart." In a rated R movie. I think she's an amazing character. I think the Sentinel is the man. I think he's the man. Gary Busey, like
The seal, the sword.
you're the man,
God.
We
Gary Busey.
started applauding when Gary Busey came on screen the
Yeah.
first time we watched it.
Yeah, dude, because I guessed it right. We were trying to guess in the beginning when we saw him in the opening credits, and I guessed, I was like, maybe he's like a vampire hunter. he ended up exceeding my expectations so much. It's
Yeah.
great.
Gary
But I think-
Busey has some of my favorite lines as well.
Yeah.
The long legs leading up to make a nasty ass
Yeah.
is the
God.
best.
You-
But
It's so
his
good.
delivery though, when he's like, she's on her way, and Adam like looks around, he's like, not now, like she's coming, she's not here yet. You're an excitable boy. I like that.
He knows
Why do you guys
exactly
know
what
this by
kind of movie
heart?
he's in. Yeah.
You guys know this shit by heart.
Yeah, dude.
We spent the last like 3 years quoting it nonstop.
Iconic.
And you know, like there are some lines that we've been like misquoting, and I think that
Yeah.
speaks to how bad the writing is. That in our minds we made up a better script.
Yep.
Hilarious.
Yeah, there's another one that he says is, "You looking in her eyes, it starts a fire in your crotch."
Yeah, this movie
Oh my
really
God.
just excels in its like quotable bad lines. I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
heart of this movie. The first of which has to be to flaming your dad's ass
I
or your
was gonna
father's
say
ass.
that one. Oh my gosh.
So
At
good.
2:10. It's so good.
And
And that's
from
like
then
an
on,
opener
you know.
too.
Yeah, that's like the first introduction because you get like the scene of him racing his dad in the jets, which is problematic for so many reasons now.
Oh god.
Also, why are they in the movie? It doesn't. There's no reason for fighter jets.
It's just
man.
it's like this movie is hardcore. It has like cool music, hot babes, and fucking fighter jet pilots. Just everything's so
Yeah.
intense about it. And I'm telling you, like at some point in the movie, the guy goes, "I want to make good movies, cool movies, like with
Yeah.
babes," and like he
Films are
describes
boring.
this.
I want to make
Yes.
blockbuster movies.
Amazing.
So good.
I do love that he's the pretentious filmmaker, but like the opposite end of the spectrum, where instead of like jerking off Tarantino, he's jerking off Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any classmates who were like that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I think San Francisco brings a type of like I like
Yeah.
824 and like
Yeah.
I make artsy shit, which also me, but
Well, I guess you can cut this out if we don't want to say his name, but closest maybe.
I'll just bleep out the name, but we can talk
Yeah.
about him if you want.
He had in Jacaitis' class, he had a interactive movie that was just him flexing vacations that he's been on with all this
Okay.
footage of like
Oh, God.
his girlfriend. Half of it was close-ups of her ass walking on a beach, and like it starts with like opening up and be like, "Oh, where do you want to go?" And like you pick the vacation you go on. and like no matter what, it's like hypersexualizing her. It's like super bad, and like everybody was crazy uncomfortable, and like Jason like had to give an apology speech the next class that he
really?
like let that slide and that he didn't speak up during the class and stuff. He's like, I've talked to him since and all this. Yeah, it was like crazy.
Damn.
Damn. I can't imagine his
Yeah.
reaction too. Like,
Yeah, it was so uncomfortable, the entire class.
he's like the only teacher that would do that though. Just like, hey, that was not good.
Yeah,
Like
hey,
actually
maybe
own
don't.
up to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout
Jesus
out Jason.
Christ.
Go listen to his episode last week.
Hell yeah.
But
He's amazing.
yeah, I think that was the
Fuck yeah.
closest that I saw to what films that guy would make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely like. I've seen some, not necessarily Michael Bay fans, but like hyper masculine
Mhm.
guy filmmakers on campus with like chains and like so fucking douchey. After this recording's over, I'll talk about my experiences more, but I don't like throwing
Yeah.
people under the bus on Spotify forever.
Well, I can bleep out. I'll bleep out the names if you want to just go off.
Well,
or not. You don't have to.
We can,
You don't have
yeah,
to.
we'll just
well,
wait.
I'll,
It's
how
fine.
about I will, and then I'll tell you how I feel about it later if I want to keep this or
Okay.
not. You could definitely bleep the name out, but it was just like, yeah, take this all out. But I just can't. I can't. This guy
Okay,
sucks,
okay.
and he got
Yeah.
enough.
I
Whatever,
kind of
man.
want to keep that part in. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
no, don't.
I'm just
don't.
kidding.
I
I'm just
can't,
kidding.
I
I'm just
can't,
kidding.
I
I'm just kidding.
I have a theory about the movie.
Ooh,
Go for
let's
it.
see it.
So we get a little glimpse in just one of the mentions about her mother having passed away, and this is a single father.
Of Lilith's mother?
No, like
Or-
the fucking main character. What's his name?
Oh, Adam. Yeah.
Adam. His mother died, and there's
Yeah.
like a reference at one point, and then they don't talk
Uh-huh.
about it ever again. But this
They
is a single
mentioned like
father.
the 10-year anniversary of her like
Yes.
funeral or something. Yeah.
Yes. I totally think this is some like fucking Freudian monstrous feminine shit of him just trying to like compensate for his dead mother and trying to like face this terrifying idea of this woman and like
Yeah.
accepting his mother's death.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's about accepting his mother's death, yes, and his issue with women.
I
Mm.
would agree if it wasn't how it was. If everything about the movie changed in terms of close-ups on tits and ass the entire time, and it didn't feel like just an excuse to like show women's bodies and talk about them crudely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a remake with that being the core of it would be fucking incredible, and I'd watch the shit out of that.
Kind of like I would do like a Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, or like a
Yeah.
promising young woman where you focus on
Yes.
Lilith's perspective, and she's like
Dude.
this
Oh, it's so good.
demonic serial killer for these playboys.
Dude,
That's so
I
good.
just rewatched Jennifer's Body. So good.
I
love
love
it.
that movie.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great movie. It's promising young woman. Too.
Yeah.
I think
You know, it's not a good movie.
Segue.
Any movie that says you're telling me a skirt flew like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. The whole plane aspect of the jet aspect of it, the fighter jets, like they're not like the way they're shot isn't that bad, but
No,
it's
Was it
definitely
green screen or was it real?
it's
no,
all
it's real.
Yeah.
Like that's
Two
how
people
the
died.
people died
Somebody
was
say
the
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And like thematically it I guess it doesn't really fit, but but I think when Lilith goes into the air with him, I think that's like her trying to like destroy his masculinity and trying to like just make him look bad at every opportunity.
yeah.
So maybe that's it.
This
but-
film is like almost feminist.
Yeah. It's so
Well,
close.
Kim directed it.
It's
Yeah.
so close.
Female filmmakers.
It is so close. If it had a female director, I genuinely think it could have been a feminist B movie, which I've never seen
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I honestly like, yeah, I would love that, but if you make this movie any better, then Jason doesn't get to shine. And for me,
Yeah.
Jason is the glue that holds the entire thing together because he's so perfectly cartoonishly misogynistic. He's so hilarious at every point. His acting, the way even his physical acting is so bad. His death is
His
hilarious.
death is the best death in the whole movie.
Yeah.
The clearly worn backward shirt.
And like just the little things when he's on the boat with the twins and he doesn't say anything, but he does a Titanic pose at the front of the boat and the scene just cuts away. doesn't do anything, doesn't say anything. Yeah, it's great.
That's great.
He has a lot of great lines too.
He does.
He says, "Wingman's got a whiz." And that's the last thing he says before he dies.
Can you imagine his mom being like, "Oh, Adam, please tell me my son's final words. I have to know."
Uh, or like with the cat rescue game, she's like, "You do
Yes.
cat rescue?" He's like, "Oh yeah, cute little pussies are my passion."
My special- It's so cringy.
It's so next level. It's next level. Oh,
They almost
Yeah.
have like a homoerotic relationship too,
Yeah.
where he just like admires him so much. He's like,
Yeah.
like especially on the boat, he's like, "Okay, guys, go back inside. I'm with my friend." It's like this guy's
Yeah.
priority, everyone else is secondary, and it's
Or-
super like platonic.
Or how he like wants to watch all of his sex tapes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Why?
That's wild.
First off, why record it in the first place? I mean, sure, if you're being kinky with your significant other, go for it. Second off, why are you watching it with your bro? That's unnecessary.
The
Third off,
pilot is
you're on
also
a plane. There's a pilot.
He's just hanging out, just like, "Oh
Exactly.
God, they don't pay me enough."
The pilot, who is also your dad's normal like pilot chauffeur, because they're on the dad's plane because he won it in the little fucking race.
Yeah. And like it's not even like a
Flamed his
sexual
dad's
enjoyment.
ass.
No, they're like watching game film.
Yeah, like it's like they're watching, yeah, like highlights. Like they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
he
weird.
and like even I'm pretty sure on the play, I think it's on in that same scene he has, I got one more Jason quote. He says, "I'm not bragging, but the sex gods were very good to J-Dog."
Oh,
which
which is my next Tinder bio if I'm single.
yeah, exactly.
again.
I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, man.
It's trash through and through. There's so many fucking good lines. This whole thing is just gonna be us reading good lines. Much like, "You look hot, so I brought you a cold drink."
So as we it's a good we have a woman's perspective here. Would that work on you as a pickup line?
Good Lord, no.
Okay. Just
God.
And
checking.
how would you react instead of being welcoming when you said, "You're blocking my son"? They're like, "That's consent to sit down."
Oh God. Just I kept thinking none of this is effective on me. I have an
No.
allergy to like douchebags though,
Yeah.
which I can imagine a lot of people do. But
Right.
good God, no thanks. I'm good on 100% of everything that was going on.
100% of Adam.
Yes,
and
just
Jason.
the shit just like I don't remember the exact line. You guys could probably quote it better than me, but when they're organizing the pool party and they're like,
Yeah.
I think they mean like 2 girls per guy.
Yeah, 2-to-1 ratio.
I'm gonna find that
I'm
shit.
trying to have a good time. I'm talking 2-to-1 ratio.
What terrible party, my guy.
Call the how does it start? I didn't write this one down, but he's like, call the
I
friends.
got it.
Something and a whole lot of hoes.
So good.
I'll find
So
it.
good.
I have it like.
They mentioned the
Dude, I am
the
feeling the
ratio.
need for. Wait. I'm gonna read the quote.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm feeling the need for a major rager. I'm reading. So hit up the usual users, losers, and a whole lot of hoes. Good God. I want to have big fun, so I'm thinking 2-1. That's the fucking line.
Yeah. They mentioned that
Jesus
2-1
Christ.
ratio like 3 different times throughout the film. And every time, I always just think of Real Bros. Where he's like, yo, I'm not gay, but fuck this ratio. It's so trashy.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
So, shall we open up the necrophilic can of worms?
Oh, yeah. Also, there's necrophilia in this film.
Wait, do you not
At
remember?
what point? No,
You
I probably remember if you mention it, but I'm
The
like, I'm
coroner.
not connecting. Oh, ew! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! The first time that happened, and the driver's just like, whoa, but like doesn't say
Yeah,
anything or
nobody
do
ever
anything
stops
about
him.
it. Good God, you're just watching. That's so much worse.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking
And like
Christ!
when he does Lilith, he's like, "You don't mind if I kiss you, do you?" And he like listens, like, "Good."
I could see
Jesus.
the flashback playing out in your eyes when you remember.
It's
Like-
fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's great. It's he's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
He says, "What a waste."
Yeah.
Ah, God.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
Every time, too.
It's insane.
I love that was established early, too. They
Yeah.
had to do, like,
They
the
had
establishing
to.
scene with this guy.
You
And
gotta
then,
do
like,
that.
reap the rewards later. What
For-
the
So
fuck?
good.
And like even if you were a necrophiliac, I feel like somebody who drowned in a pool and a body who's been sitting in there, why would you
floated.
even?
Ew.
The chemicals
loved,
preserve the skin, man. That's,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Fuck.
I don't know. I
the
don't know.
ultimate,
Jesus Christ.
the ultimate mummification.
I love the phone number of, it's the Sentinel, right? His phone number
Yeah.
is like
1
1-666-6666.
Okay.
And when he's dialing, it's like 1, and then he just presses the
Just
same
hits
place.
it as fast as
And
he
then-
can.
And the dial, like, and the number is just like dialing while he calls. It's like beep, 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 beep. It's just the same sound over and over fucking 7 times. I just kept thinking, like, I would not have included the sound, but I guess we need to establish that he
Yeah.
called. Like, it's fucking funny.
So I tried going on the Sentinel's website because the URL shows
Oh.
up for a bit, doesn't exist. But
Oh.
they all have MySpace pages that do exist. So you can
Yes.
find like Succubus Lilith on MySpace and like Adam something. I think it was like Savage
Whoa.
Adam or something. But yeah, they like
Whoa.
they bothered creating the characters on MySpace.
That's modern.
Whoa, that's amazing.
That's super modern.
Yeah.
That's what they do now.
Oh,
So,
that's
like,
great.
From a design standpoint, like, what are your thoughts, Sabrina, on the Sentinel?
I love the Sentinel. Lucille, like, I love just
Yes.
the reference to the fucking sword. And then he's like, I'm gonna go kill some daywalkers in Echo Park. It's hilarious.
Echo Park.
It was so specific, too. It was great. No, this movie, like, it knows what it is. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that they had, like, this heavy metal, like, monster hunter guy and also all the musical performances, it's like, it's a type. It's a type of movie.
Yeah.
As a kid, I used to say that, like, now I don't stand by this at all, but I used to say movies from, like, 95 to, like, 2009, like, I hate them. I hate them, and I couldn't even watch them because it's this like it's a style. It's totally a style,
It is.
and it's kind of obvious now, like more so than before. But this is exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like trying to be MTV, but like not.
Exactly. I don't stand by that, by the way. That was just younger me trying to be pretentious and like, Kubrick's better because it's the 60s or whatever.
Oh my God.
But no.
We gotta bring
There's good
Kubrick up
movies.
again in this episode.
Yes,
We
yes.
get
I've
it.
already
Oh,
mentioned it
God.
earlier
You
with the
wanna be
costume. I had to
sexy
do it again.
Ah,
It's just like that guy that has to mention Tarantino at least once.
True.
yeah.
That's who I am.
That's who you are. Yeah, exactly.
That is I.
It's okay. I'm like that with other directors, with better directors. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. What stood out to you in like the interiors as far as a production design thing? Because they're all kind of shitty. But I was wondering if
Leprechaun
anything,
sigil.
Oh.
if you caught
The
anything.
the one thing that like really stood out was the dad's office. I kept thinking like what was already here, because I've seen like regular rooms be turned into offices or regular rooms be turned into hospitals, and you can always kind of tell, but I couldn't tell because there were like these like sound panels. That's what it looked like to me, like three like things to like cushion sound all over the room, and they were all over the walls, but then they would put like a framed piece of something in the center of all
Like
the
a
three, and
framed
it looked so
diploma.
weird. Yes, it looked like, is it on the, are you trying to hide the back, or did you put that on there on purpose? It looked so off. That
Yeah.
office looked terrible. He didn't, like, he's talking to fucking the Pentagon or whatever. Why? This guy doesn't look like he's hot shit, and his office is terrible. Yeah, that office really stood out.
The Pentagon.
Cancun. It was
Do they
so
say
fucking
what
hilarious.
his job is?
Some kind of contractor, I think. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, because they mentioned the Pentagon and
Really
like the
ambiguous,
mayor's
yeah.
wife is on the board of directors or something.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Cancun. I don't know if they shot in Cancun, but it was okay.
Yeah.
I bet
My
they didn't.
favorite-
I bet they didn't.
One of my favorite things. I love the Cancun scenes, but I like that they're like have the announcer in the back who's like, "Oh, wet t-shirt contest,"
Yeah.
and then it's like in Spanish, like "muy caliente."
It was pretty good Spanish, by the way. I was like surprised to hear. I was like, that guy sounds actual. Like he sounded actually Mexican. So shout out to whoever did that.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I think I was too distracted by the "I'm hungry, I want to have dinner, I'm horny, I want to have sex" tier dialogue to be distracted from that the first time. But this watch around, I loved the random like announcer in the back.
Dude, it's so great. All the music in this movie is like the stuff that like, you know, you slam your door like "fuck you, dad," and you face plant in your bed and you like you just
And you
listen.
blast Simple Plan.
Exactly. That's
So
all the music
funny.
in this movie. I love it.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I could go on about this a lot. You mentioned this will kind of transition us to the end of the movie, which is also a disaster. You mentioned him mispronouncing succubus. He also mispronounced sigil the entire time when he's setting him up.
No.
He calls it a sigil, and like, what are they? Like, one's a leprechaun. Jesus is
It's so
being pulled up by like fishing
And it
line that's
fucking
super
floats-
visible.
Like work with me. What?
But the best
great.
part of the entire ending has to be when he's like, "Oh, this will work during a full moon," and he goes outside and he looks at the moon, but we hold on the pentagram. We don't see a cutaway of the moon. We don't see him looking. He just comes back. He's like, "Yeah, no, the full moon." And then you see the moon later. Like it's. Why are you holding on that for like 10 seconds of nothing while he checks to see if there's a moon?
The exposition, like when he's alone, He talks to himself so much all of a sudden.
It's great.
Like, his friend's not there, so we don't get any exposition otherwise.
No.
It's hilarious.
He's such a cool guy. He's such a cool
Yeah.
guy. I
I
love
want to
it.
be him when I grow up. He also has a great line where he says, "How about we play a game of bang bang the bitch is dead?"
That's yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. Oh, there's also when he yells at the picture of himself. He's like, "We should have gone to Hogwarts with Harry instead of going to military school."
Oh my gosh. I can't believe those two movies are from the same era.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, dude.
Harry Potter, probably just the first one, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
So cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Best movie ever. Better than
Yeah, we
2001.
could
Better than There Will Be Blood.
stand that Kubrick. Oh, we could go on about favorite scenes. I think we've covered them. This episode's been long, and the last
Yeah.
45 minutes has been us just saying lines from a movie. So-
Yeah. and there's also 20 minutes that the audience will never hear.
Yep.
Hey.
That's for us. Oh, yeah, we're well over. Actually, we're probably sitting at like right at 2 hours with all our breaks and cuts. But yeah, I'm good on Succubus Hellbent. If you guys are,
I'm
Yeah, I don't
good
want to
on
break any more records, so.
dude. We should do this again, but with like higher budget movies.
I'm down.
$1.5 million isn't high enough for you.
No. No. 2 human lives is not high enough. It's never high enough.
Oh,
What's the price of a human life? Did you guys know that Ford actually calculated how much the human life is worth at one point?
Yeah.
Jesus.
For like some lawsuit, they like had all these people try to like calculate how much a life is worth, and they like put a number on it, and it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Jeez.
cost, I guess.
Oh,
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
crazy.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Watch Succubus.
Oh my god.
Watch this in their honor.
In loving memory.
It's
Yeah.
so fun.
Jeez.
Can you imagine, like, even being the family and being like, well, should we watch the movie that they died for?
No. No.
It's insane. It's disgusting. And I hate it.
Why?
Oh man.
Jesus
Anyway.
fucking Christ.
What can we plug for you, Sabrina?
Fuck, man. I don't know. I'm gonna be directing some things, but they're under wraps for now. They're all like short things that I was hit up for, which I'm excited about. But we'll see when they come out. I guess just follow me on social media. It's Sab _Ghidossi, not undercase underscore
Yeah.
underscore
Yeah.
Ghidossi.
Yeah.
But
You got it.
yeah, I'll be fucking tagged everywhere, hopefully. We still gotta choose a fucking picture. If you see a weird ass picture of me, it's because that was on purpose on social media.
Yeah.
You
On
should
the
do just like a
Jaredcast.
picture of a dog and say that
Oh,
that's you
yes.
during the day.
Yes. My dog alter ego. Oh, like a really good stock photo.
Follow Sabrina on Instagram, and she has a website.
Yeah, I can plug one more thing in.
Nope,
I'm
too late. You had
gonna
your
do
chance.
Oh, okay, bye. The end. I'm gonna do a giveaway with like equipment and some stuff, so I'll be able to like give you guys some free shit if you follow me. Hopefully that'll be up soon.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Hey.
And then you can also follow the Jaredcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. We have the most listeners on SoundCloud. Shout out SoundCloud. Also Spotify. You're doing pretty well. I love you guys.
We're like the Post Malone of podcasts.
I found
I
you guys on
guess.
Amazon Prime, like on the music part of
Ooh.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're
Do you-
everywhere. You can't escape.
Do you listen to podcasts on Amazon?
I don't, but I guess I looked at. I guess I was like I was finding the Spotify one, Because even though I was in it, I was like, I need to listen to this again for
Right.
whatever fucking reason. I listened to
Ego.
3 hours. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But it's on Amazon too. Amazon Music, I guess.
Yeah.
Dope. All right. Anything else you want to leave the people with, Jared?
Fuck no.
Alrighty. Audience, we love you. Watch Succubus. Watch Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Watch Love on a Leash. Goodbye.
What a night of cheer this is. How grand it is to feel so very. Life is very gay when people catch the Christmas fever. How delightful on this sequence, saints and angels sing along. Holly hung just right and faces bright with Christmas fever.